And welcome once again to the Duct Tape Studios. I'm Jeff McAleer, your host here at the Gaming Gang channel. Thanks for joining me once again. And yes, I'm still wearing glasses. I'm just taking a little break from my contacts, but it's really me, even though you might not recognize me in glasses. But Troll Lord Games Month is going to rock on, as today I am going to share my review of Engineering Castles from the aforementioned Troll Lord Games. This is written by Robert Doyle with artwork provided by Peter Bradley. This 32-page softcover carries an MSRP of $12.99, or you can grab it as part of a bundle in PDF over at DriveThruRPG, which includes Engineering Castles for only $5. So that is a rockin' deal. And as you can see, this is sporting the brand new trade dress for Castles and Crusades. And as we swing on over to the other camera, you will see that this softcover booklet does as well. I talked a little bit about this during yesterday's review of Engineering Dungeons, that the different kinds of trade dress on some of the books and booklets from Troll Lord Games sort of throws people off. So this is in the same line as Engineering Dungeons. It's just this, no doubt, is a very recent print run, whereas the Engineering Dungeons booklet that I reviewed yesterday is probably from an older print run. I'll actually talk a little more about the trade dress when I share my review of Castle Zagyig Eagsburg coming up very shortly. All right. Anyway, do want to point out that my friends over at Troll Lord Games were kind enough to provide me with this booklet, but neither I nor anyone else affiliated with the Gaming Gang has received any other sort of compensation for me to share this review with you. These days, it's important you know that. We're also not going to look at each and every page of Engineering Castles. I do want to give you a good feel for what you're going to find inside. All right, let's jump on in. As I mentioned with Engineering Dungeons, with Engineering Castles, engineering in the title, I don't want to say it's misleading, but people might be confused by that when they see what's inside this booklet, because the reality is this is all random generation tables and information in this booklet as far as castles. There's no information about how castles were historically designed or engineered or anything along those lines. But there's loads of really cool info and really interesting tables throughout Engineering Castles. So the first thing you're going to start to take a look at is who built this, why they built this, where is this at? And we'll have all these various different tables available to us. What sort of guilds might be involved in the castle or the surrounding, say, village or city or town with the castle nearby. Some various different institutions which might be tied into the castle as well. Now, unlike Engineering Dungeons, this is not going to get into a lot of detail about the layout of the castle. So you're not actually using this to design a map of the castle, but this is giving you more of a feel of how the castle would be laid out. What are the purposes of the castle? What are some of the main areas, main rooms of the castle? How is the castle defended? So this works really nicely if a game master needs to come up with a castle, not necessarily on the fly, but let's say you're running a game and your players encounter a castle, and then you're like, okay, well, that's where we're going to wrap up this session. Then you have some time to flesh that castle out. One aspect I really like about this quite a lot is, what sort of castle is it? What sort of architecture is utilized with the castle? I thought that was very cool. And you have to learn quite a bit about different kinds of castles based on the era as well as the locale. So as an example here, we've got Anglo-Saxon, we've got the Mamluk, we've got the Ottomans, And then, of course, we've got like prehistoric, pre-classic, really cool, Mesoamerican. So just a few different ideas. And then you'll get kind of a rundown on what the look of that castle would be also. But all the information is provided in small chunks. I mean, you won't find anything in here that's just pages and pages devoted to a particular subject. So really like this a lot. I like this a little bit better than the Engineering Dungeons book. And I did like that. I did recommend it if you've checked out that review. But I just felt that this just kind of tied together a little bit better. And even if you decided you wanted to roll everything up randomly, it would feel a little more cohesive than I think the dungeons would, which would make sense because with a castle, you're creating a locale and you're not looking at populating it with various different monsters and creatures, treasures, and things like that. But as you can see, loads and loads of information packed inside engineering castles. So let's swing on over to the other camera. I'm going to share some final thoughts and provide a review score. So as I mentioned, I like engineering castles a little bit better than engineering dungeons, and I certainly did recommend engineering dungeons too. I think there's a lot of really good information that's jam-packed into 32 short pages. There are interesting tables. Once again, I wouldn't necessarily personally roll up a castle completely at random, but I would use those tables and some of the results from those tables as inspiration as I was creating a castle for my player characters to experience and maybe even eventually utilize as a bit of a home base, a la Keep on the Borderlands. So all in all, really do like engineering castles from Troll Lord Games. So on a scale of 0 to 10, I give the booklet a 7.5 out of 10. Really do like it, and I think it is certainly worth picking up. And it is included in a rocking bundle over at DriveThruRPG, which I will actually put the link to that in the show notes if you want to check that out and get both Engineering Castles and Engineering Dungeons together in PDF for only $5. Like I said, rockin' deal. All right, that is it for this time out. If you like the video, by all means, please give it a quick thumbs up. Subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel if you haven't already. And if you do subscribe, don't forget, ring that bell because it'll not only let you know when I share videos such as this quick review, it'll also inform you when my live stream, the Gaming Gang Dispatch, airs Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday evenings right here on YouTube at 7 p.m. Central. And of course, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit gaminggang.com for the latest in tabletop gaming news, reviews, and a whole lot more you are not going to find on YouTube. You know the drill. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. Thank you very much for watching. Once again, I'm Jeff McAleer, and until I see you next time, I certainly hope all of you get to enjoy plenty of great gaming with your gang.